Bakersfield. This is where the Big West plays. Tonight, Hawaii comes to Bakersfield. The Rainbow Warriors against the Roadrunners. It's college basketball live on ESPN+. Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Kerr. He is Vance Palmer, Roadrunner himself. The Big West season is underway, and so far, these two teams haven't really surprised anyone. We're only played a few games, but as you can see from the Coaches Bowl, Hawaii picked to be third, has dropped to 8th in the early going. The expectation is that head coach Aran Ganat will figure it out. And Vance, he's got some familiar tools to work with.
Greg, those tools include Noel Coleman, Javon McClanahan, and Bernardo De Silva. Coleman leading the team in points per game. De Silva leading the team in field goal percentage. McClanahan playing big minutes and a threat from three. And the transfer portal brought new threats from deep for Hawaii. Justin McCoy, a transfer from North Carolina, shooting 40% from three. Also, Juan Munoz playing well after 2 years of injury. He leads the Bows in three-point percentage off the bench, so don't fall asleep on these guys. They'll bury you.
And trying to contain the Bows inside now will be job one for the Runners as head coach Rod Barnes tries to cure a recent slide in defense. Bakersfield is allowing over 70 points a game this year, a category the Runners are accustomed to leaning on. Lately, they've been leaning on Caleb Higgins doing his thing, and his thing is scoring 17 points a game. But the Runners are looking for the number 2. Last Saturday, they found it 6'10" for him, Ugnas Garasevic, responding to a coach's plea to shoot the basketball. Well, number 21 scored 11 points on 5 of 8 shooting. Coach Barnes found his number 2 for 20 minutes. Tonight will be asking for an extra 20, 40 minutes of sustained results on both sides of the ball. It's the Rainbow Warriors and the Roadrunners. And let's take a look at the starting lineups first with the visitors from Hawaii. And we can see as a very veteran-based team, by the way, the transfer from North Carolina, Justin McCoy. They got Javon McClanahan, Noel Coleman, Bernardo Silva, and Ryan Rapp. For the Roadrunners, the starting 5. You've got Caleb Higgins leading the way, along with Marvin McGee III, Cameron Wilbon, Fidelis Okereke, and Modestus Canslaris. Both teams looking for their first win in Big West Conference play. The Roadrunners 0-2 after a road loss at UC San Diego, a home loss to UC Irvine when they led the Anteaters by 6 at halftime, only to falter in the second half. Hawaii coming into this game off a overtime loss at home against Fullerton by a final of 63-61. They thought for a second they had won the game. They had won the game at a buzzer beater at the end of regulation, but it was after the buzzer, and they went to overtime and falling again 63-61. The tip goes to the Rainbow Warriors, and we are underway from the Arcado Center. Thanks for joining us. Certainly, if you're on the island in Hawaii, welcome to Bakersfield.
Aloha.
And right away, going to the rim, some contact there, nothing going. Rebound pulled down, however, by De Silva. And now a bad pass in the backcourt. Rapp's going to touch it, but it's going to be a backcourt. It's going to be Roadrunner basketball.
Modestus Canslaris want to let the refs know, hey, ho, ho, ho.
Well, the whistle didn't come quite quick enough for Modestus.
You know, Greg, I listened to your sports radio show yesterday and your conversation with Rob Barnes. More on that in a moment.
Inbound to Caleb Higgins, man-to-man defense by the Rainbow Warriors. Played a rugged game against Fullerton. Low-scoring first half, by the way. Canslaris working down low, puts it up and puts it in over McCoy for an early 2-0 lead. That's exactly what Rod Barnes wants. He wants aggressiveness from everyone, not just Caleb Higgins.
Beautiful soft touch from Modestus in traffic.
Clanahan's a handful at guard. They run a lot of backdoor cuts as well, Hawaii does. Runners in their usual man-to-man defense.
Nice job there by
Rapp puts it up, shot clock down to 3, and he knocks it down from three-point range. A little bit of a Hail Mary, but he makes good on it. And it's 3-2, Hawaii.
For you Runner fans watching, no relation to assistant coach Brent Rapp, legendary Roadrunner, different Rapp. Here we
different
go.
Spelling, too. Fidelis Okereke asking for it inside. He now steps out. Wilbon gets into the key. Didn't even look at the rim, but he had a shot there. Shot clock down to 4. Higgins is going to have to launch one. Step back, puts it up, gets it, rattles it home, and gets the foul.
Yeah, Javon McClanahan, you know, he's a great athlete. He's coming from Wyoming. He's a superb guard, but now he's met his match tonight.
So trying to complete the three-point play as we see Corey Stevenson check into the game for Wilbon. And I think Rod Barnes is going to say, look, you had an open 14-footer. Shoot the
That's
thing.
exactly what he said, Greg, and I was going to mention that about your show yesterday with him. Be more aggressive. He feels confident about this game. He feels confident about where his team is. He appreciates how hard they've been working. There's not a lot of doom and gloom right now with Rod Barnes and the Roadrunners.
In talking to him at length about this offense, he's saying, guys, everybody, be aggressive and shoot.
That didn't take long for the message to get to Wilbon. He didn't take the open 4-footer, and he's gone.
Higgins completes the three-point play. Runners back on top 5-3. Ron Gannat pacing the sideline. He's done a terrific job at the University of Hawaii. In his 9th season. Rod Barnes in his 13th.
Little battle down low, a big battle down low between De Silva and Okereke. You're going to see that all night long.
It's also going to be a battle between Canceleras trying to hang with McCoy. As McClanahan almost lost it on the dribble there. Good defense by Caleb Higgins, but an even better shot by McClanahan.
I'm telling you,
we are tied at 5.
You Big West basketball fans watching us tonight, you're in for a show with these two guards. It is going to be spectacular.
McClanahan picks up an early second. That would be a difference maker right there.
Sure would, Greg. Oh, boy, he is asking for it down low.
We're going to get a double dribble on Canceleras. Good defense by Hawaii. It's a good action early on. 17:23 to play. First half, we are tied at 5. McClanahan again working it. McCoy with the high pick outside. McCoy doesn't really look at the rim from the outside, but he will drive it to the rim and shoot the mid-ranger. Canceleras almost had a steal there. Instead, Coleman gives it up. There's McCoy. He'll shoot from about 15, knocks it down, and more like 18. And Hawaii back on top 7-5.
McCoy, that 6'8" transfer from the Tar Heels. Keep an eye on him tonight.
Cary, North Carolina, know it well.
We're going to see Tom Mark in for the Roadrunners. Quick substitution of Barnes.
Stevenson gives it to Canceleras, who goes up over McCoy, off glass, that doesn't fall. Rebound comes down, and the Roadrunners try to regain it, but it goes out of bounds. Hawaii ball.
Frenetic
look at Tom Mark.
Hey, it's a frenetic pace here by both teams. The Bows look a little disjointed on offense. Roadrunners picking it up on defense, but keep this pace up all night. It's going to be exciting.
So McClanahan working on Higgins. Again, De Silva comes out to set the pick.
Oh, look
Inside to De Silva. And a foul as McGee tried to help out after the lob down to De Silva.
Yeah, rotations can't be reactionary. They have to be proactionary.
So that's going to send De Silva to the line to shoot 2. First on McGee.
Is that a word, proactionary?
It is now.
How about, you can't be reactive, they have to be proactive in a rotation like that, and just a little too reactive. It's my New Year's resolution, Greg. Just make up words.
I'm a monosyllabic guy.
Just get it into the lexicon of sports. On that note, do you know that you can look anywhere in the dictionary, you will not find the word physicality? It doesn't exist, physicality, but it's used by every talking head in sports. So why not proactionary?
There you go. We're working on it. They put new words in the dictionary every year.
Right.
De Silva makes both.
That's clutch. There's a word for De Silva.
It's 9-5 Hawaii. Tell you what, if I'm Caleb Higgins, I try to get that second foul on McClanahan. Instead, it's McGee from about 15. He knocks it down.
Mr. Automatic.
Marvin McGee. Flush with that when you need a guy like that to get on a heater.
He came over and said hi to us pregame. We both told him the same thing. Get hot early.
Oh, he said hi to you. He didn't say hi to me.
Yeah.
I'm not,
he's scared of you.
I'm not holding anything against him there. They tried to lay home, and that is rejected. It goes out of bounds. It will be Hawaii ball. We're getting our first TV timeout with a score of 15, with 15:51 to play. It's Hawaii on top, 9-7. We'll be right back.
Live sports.
UFC 297 is exclusively on ESPN Plus, and don't miss this special offer. Go to espnplus.com/PPV and get $10 off your pay-per-view purchase. Buy now and save $10 on UFC 297. Offer ends January 15th.
From the intensity of the pitch
A clinching moment in the title race.
to the beauty of the tiki-taka.
Massive moment.
From city rivals
He needed something special
to El Clásico.
to separate these two clubs.
Here's where legends are born. And every match is a spectacle. A celebration like no other. For the love of football. For the love of La Liga.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trades gap.
At Target, try fast and free Drive Up.
I never knew there was a love like this before.
Try fast and always free Drive Up at Target.
Here's where legends are born. And every match is a spectacle. For the love of football. For the love of La Liga.
And welcome back to the Icarno Center in Bakersfield, California. Greg Kerr alongside Vance Palm. We're about 4 minutes plus into this one with Hawai'i with an early 9-7 lead on the Roadrunners of CSU Bakersfield. Both teams looking for their first win in Big West Conference play. The Runners have actually played twice. Hawai'i just the one time at home against Fullerton, a game that went overtime. And the Titans coming out on top 63-61. The Roadrunners coming off a loss against Irvine, which was closer than the score would indicate. They led by 6 at halftime. But an onslaught by the Anteaters in the second half made the difference in what turned out to be a 74-56 victory for Irvine. So we're about to inbound with 15:51 to play. There's 15 on the shot clock for the Rainbow Warriors. It's going to be Coleman with the inbound. De Silva, McCoy, Rappin, Clanahan, the starters still in the game. First 3 attempt coming up right there and knocks. Flush by McCoy, who is one of the leading 3-point shooters. Early on when they were running a specific play, didn't even look at the rim, but he is more than capable. His lead is now 5. The ball goes down low. Up and in the basket.
Was patient that time. No rush. We saw him rushing the other night against Irvine. Just kind of getting a little too quick down there. He's so big and so strong and so stable. Just take the time. Pump fake, even get an and one.
Hawai'i got off to a rugged start against Fullerton. They were 1 of 9 the first 10 attempts from 3-point range. Not so much tonight. So we're going to see Juan Munoz check into the game as McClanahan takes a seat.
Now, are you as familiar with Morrisville, North Carolina?
No, I'm not. I was just looking at that.
Perry?
He went to Longwood, though. I am familiar with Longwood. I worked in Greenville for a spell.
What a beautiful spot of country. Hey, how about
Good
this?
whistle. That was going to be against the Rainbow Warriors.
I didn't know that he would call that. Yeah, I didn't.
That is against McCoy. That's the first foul on Justin McCoy. We're going to get our first look at Morissette, the sophomore, who, quite frankly, is a freshman here.
Yeah.
Had a whale of a game against the Roadrunners.
It's a second long look at him because last time they were up here, woof. He is long. 7-1. I see Stevenson going to the rack here if they can get it to him. If they can get it to him, he's going to take Rapp to the hole.
And now we're going to get one on Fidelis and Karake. Ron Barnes not happy with that at all. We're going to see our first look at Ugnas Yarosevicic, who again had 11 points in the outing against Irvine.
That's a smart substitution, not just because you're taking, Okereke out to have a word with him, but get him a breather, get Ugnas in there. He's been playing well. We had him in our pregame. He's doing a good job. So that's a smart substitution all the way around.
Ugnas showed to be very aggressive offensively in the last game.
Different player when he is.
He can shoot the 3, so can Ken Slaris. McCoy drives the baseline and gets cut off.
Nice.
Gives it to Seck, who gives it right back to McCoy. Can't give McCoy any breathing room if you're the Runners. Munoz looking around. Back to McCoy, who drives on Yarosevicic, and in traffic, that was deflected by Stevenson and goes out of bounds. 3 on the shot clock.
Justin McCoy can't believe the foul wasn't called. The first thing he did was turn around. He thought he was going to get the foul here. You can see this right. He comes to the hole, and he quickly thought he was going to get the call, but that was all ball.
So McCoy with 3 on the shot clock goes up and knocks it in off glass. shot by Justin McCoy.
Special.
Harry Ruliadeff getting ready to check in for the Rainbow Warriors. Now we're going to get an official's timeout, which may allow Ruliadeff to get into the game with the dead ball.
You know, Greg, you wonder about the pull and the attraction and the magnet of playing in the islands. That location is how you snag somebody like Justin McCoy from North Carolina. You know, hey, look, it's not blue blood basketball in North Carolina, but let's go down to the beach and talk about it when you get to Oahu.
Matthew Cotton into the game as well. Yeah, I mean, McCoy played for that North Carolina team and played for a national championship.
That's what I'm saying about the only thing that compete for that is the islands.
McGee tries a three. That's off the back iron. Rebound comes down to Ruliadeff, who, again, just entered the game. The Rainbow Warriors up by 5, 14-9. Mass substitutions there.
Yeah,
and the nice steal by Morsek, and Munoz just drove the right side of the lane and scores to make it 16-9. We're going to see Ken Slaris back into the game. I think Rod Barnes was happy with the defense down low there.
Well, it was like a kickoff return.
Corey Stevenson tries to go up, and thought we'd get a foul call. Get a little later than I thought, but that one's going to be on Matthew Cotton.
I mean, they just cleared.
I'm sorry, it was not deemed a shooting foul. Go ahead.
Modestas just got cleared out down there like they said it's like a wall on a kickoff return. The whole wall was set, and that was just way too easy for a layup. And Coach Barnes saw the same thing we did and said, no way.
Well, now we've got Yarosevich and Ken Slaris both in the game, so it's going to be interesting to see if either one of them steps outside for three-point range. Meanwhile, we're going to get a travel ball on Ken Slaris, who was trying to jockey his way from underneath the backboard to get a shot from point-blank range.
Yeah, he just stopped his path a little too deep.
And that one goes out of bounds as Munoz was looking at Coleman, and the two just miscommunicated there. Ball goes out of bounds, so teams trade turnovers. 16-9 Hawaii, 13-15 to play.
Munoz also a graduate transfer, a veteran of the team, but he did not escape the associate head coach John Montgomery's hire.
Caleb Higgins 3 points with just the one shot attempt thus far in this game.
There you go.
And there's Yarosevich open for the three off the back iron. Rebound comes down to Munoz. And here come the Rainbow Warriors in transition. Munoz gives it up to Cotton. Munoz back out top, working on Higgins. Sek was wide open, but wasn't looking for the ball. Yarosevich really
I think
fighting at it.
Ugna's got to be careful. He might get back up a little
That's
bit.
a lot of long arms going to work against each other. Coleman kicks it out to Munoz, who puts up a three. Ruliadeff taps it and gets it to Cotton, who goes up and puts it off glass. So Ruliadeff kept it alive. And now the Rainbow Warriors have doubled the runners at 18-9. The runners looking for some offense.
Yeah, they need to get set play with a good-looking shot.
Little 1-4 formation for the Roadrunners offensively. Down low to Yarosevich working on Morsek. Puts up the baby hook, no good. Rebound comes down to Ruliadeff. And the runners have hit a drought.
Can't knock it. Great look, just didn't go down.
There's Cotton, the lefty, puts it up off the back iron. Rebound.
That's over the back.
Going to get a foul. It's going to be a foul on Morsek. Yarosevich goes to the floor. Tom Beatty's going to come into the game. And we've got yet another timeout with 11:49 to play. It's Hawaii on top, 18-9. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Icarno Center, Bakersfield, California. Greg Kerr alongside Vance Palm as the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors are out to an 18-9 lead.
Quick disclaimer, Juan Munoz, that got chewed out a little bit a couple minutes ago, it wasn't Coach Montgomery, it was Brad Davidson. I don't want the Montgomery family upset with me, a Hall of Fame dad, Mike Montgomery, and all that crew getting upset with me. It wasn't John Montgomery, it was Brad Davidson getting on Munoz. But the Montgomery family probably say, hey, look, John needs to get on him too, but I want to clear that up. Hall of Fame bloodline there.
Yeah, Mike Montgomery, a heck of a coach up in the Bay Area. Our officials tonight, Delray Carr, Casey McClellan, and Christina Sparza. So we're about halfway into our first half, 11:49 to play. Runners will inbound it from their own baseline. Again, hit a bit of a scoring drought. This point is 18-9. We've not seen Caleb Higgins attempt a shot except for the three-point play he made. So Rainbow Warriors have done a good job there. Dolph Pinocchio into the game.
add Oogie. Yarosevich is open for the alley-oop dunk.
I smell a shot from Higgins. And there it is. He's driving. That's going to be goaltending on Morissette because it was off the glass. And a nice drive to the lane by Higgins.
Coach Barnes, he'll put it together. He'll get an offense going here. He's got it figured out. He's got playlist hanging from his belt.
Would not be the least bit surprised. By the way, Jaden Alexander in the game as well for the Roadrunners. And we're going to get a foul call on Willie Adapt. And Ron Ganatse, I think he embellished that a little bit on the screen. In fact, Harry really enough to be told, nice screen, Harry. And yet, the foul call, and Higgins may have embellished it. Ron Ganatse saying, do not reward that.
Watch the alley-oop here. He's right there again.
Pinocchio goes in high off glass. Yarosevich tried to get a rebound, but a nice block out. And then the wide open three right there for Beatty. And he knocks it down. So certainly more success from three-point range tonight than at home against Fullerton, where they, again, made only one of their first 10. And the lead is now 10, the largest of the game for the Rainbow Warriors. And the pass goes out of bounds there as Caleb Higgins was looking at Yarosevich on a pick and roll.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Ugnis, I'm telling these guys, look, the last 3 pick and rolls, I've been wide open for lob dunks. And that time I wasn't open. And those two getting a quick conversation. Ugnis gives them a double thumbs up. So down 10 now. They need to start clicking here.
Munoz working his way in, gives it up to Cotton. Back out to Munoz. Nice ball movement. Beatty, who kicks it back out. Ruliadev down low now, stolen by Ken Slaris, and here come the runners. No numbers here, but they get it to Alexander. Over to Ken Slaris. Gives it up to Yarosevich, who misses from point-blank range. He had a tough time gathering, but then just did not finish very well. And De Silva.
Nice transition D by Yarosevich.
De Silva Munoz.
Uh-oh.
Beatty with the step back. Ruliadow. And Cotton, that's your 5 on the floor for the Rainbow Warriors.
Composed basketball. Could have hurled one up. They just pulled it back.
And Munoz, a long 3 off the iron. Rebound comes down to the runners.
Then they hurl it up.
Ken Slaris, Yarosevich, Higgins, Pinocchio, and Alexander on the floor for the runners. Rainbow Warriors getting ready to make a pair of substitutions. Higgins, meanwhile, gives it up to Yarosevich from 18. That's off the back iron. Pinocchio keeps it alive, and the ball comes right to him. And he gets the easy 2. So that's a fortunate bounce for the Roadrunners, but nice hustle by Dalton Pinocchio, just keep the ball alive. We're going to go see our first look at Nassim Gaskin, who I believe will be able to get to the rim with his quicks.
He has to.
Lefty working on Alexander. Down low to De Silva. 4 on the shot clock. Uses the rim to keep Yarosevich away from him and puts it up and in off the glass. Nice play.
Look at that scratch on Ruliadev's left arm.
Oh, yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Hawaii's really making the Roadrunners work offensively. Nothing is coming easy. It's Alexander in traffic. No foul there. Ball goes back up. Blocked, and it's going to retain to the Roadrunners. But nice defense by the Rainbow Warriors as Coleman, McClanahan, and McCoy, all starters, come back into the game. And the second 5 have done a really nice job for the Rainbow Warriors, extending the lead to 10. Wilmot back into the game for the Roadrunners.
Stevenson, Okereke, and as you mentioned, Gaskin. So a full house clean here, except for Pinocchio.
If Gaskin gets back out at the point what he can possibly do, although it's Pinocchio right now.
Here we go.
Well, Gaskin working from a wing may not be the same, but he does drives hard, but it's rejected going to the rim.
But to your point, he can get there, can't he?
He got there. There's no doubt about it. Oh, almost stolen there. De Silva gathers and gives it back up to McClanahan.
8-minute mark.
8-minute mark indeed. Hawaii by 10 at this point. McClanahan working, pulls up back, knocks it down. Pulled into Gaskin and then pulled back and knocked down the mid-range jumper. And it's a 12-point lead for Hawaii.
I'll tell you what, Coach Ganot and his staff, I think they've kind of figured out that McClanahan's going to take them to the next step here in the second half.
Pinocchio trying to work in traffic, goes off glass and gets it in. Dalton Pinocchio back to a 10-point game. Rod Barnes has talked about searching for a second or third aggressive scorer. McClanahan kicks it out. McCoy tries a three off the iron. Nice rebound by Munoz. He's rejected going back up. I think the Roadrunners may have gotten fortunate there. Hit the bottom of the backboard. We're going to get a whistle here, but we don't know what the call. Oh, we're getting a foul call on Gaskin. Oh no, De Silva. So we got a timeout with 7:08 play. We'll clarify what we had there because we had 2 number 5s on the floor. We'll take a break. It's Hawaii by 10. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Icardo Center in Bakersfield, California. Greg Kerr alongside Vance Palm. 7:08 to play here in the first half. Hawaii with a 10-point lead. It was as large as 11. Right now it's 25-15. Rainbow Warriors on top. You see the Roadrunners huddle as they try to figure something out offensively. Just 15 points in the first 13 minutes of the game. The foul was on Bernardo De Silva. So Roadrunners ball. De Silva picks up the foul.
I'll tell you what, partner, hats off to this, Rainbow Warrior defense down here in the half-court set. It's not like you can just stroll in there and take an easy shot. They're putting up a fight on defense.
Well, they played, again, point I made a couple times earlier. That game against Fullerton was 63-61, and that was overtime. The game was in the 50s before they got to overtime.
Yeah, but that was last year.
Yeah. Okay. I had to think for a second. Yes, it was.
So, New Year's resolution.
All right, 7:08 to play. Asim Gaskin. It'll be very interesting to see what Gaskin can do and if they can clear the paint and see if he can drive to the rim. He is lightning quick with the dribble. Not much of a threat offensively to shoot from the outside. Meanwhile, Pinocchio pulls up and gets the bounce. Dalton Pinocchio's finding his groove, knocking that one down. He has 6 points to lead the Roadrunners. And the lead is now 8. McClanahan working on Gaskin. Gaskin with long arms, good defensive player. Inside, De Silva. De Silva just had Okereke pinned down low. And that's going to be a foul on Okereke, and De Silva will go to the line. He just beat him to the spot.
And he's a little longer. He's got that, he's 6'9", and Okereke's 6'6", just a little bit longer. He's got that length and those quick feet.
Yarosevicic will check back in for the Roadrunners.
And that may be just exactly what Coach Barnes wants to do, is get that length on length right there.
That was short from the get-go. You can tell from the release that one was short.
Greg, Hawaii is one of 2 schools, along with University of Portland, has a player from 6 continents. So you get a lot of flair on this Rainbow squad.
In and out on that one. And then the Roadrunners promptly turn it over. Runners down by 8. They had a chance to cut it to 6, get a little momentum. Caleb Higgins back into the game for Naseem Gaskin. Switching defensive assignments as well as Stevenson goes over on Coleman, who did a backward cut right there. Nice pass inside, and Yarosevicic stayed between De Silva and the bucket, but De Silva with a nice look, and he scores, and the lead is back to 10.
A lot of talent on this squad, no question about it.
They've done a good job just buttoning up Higgins. As you see Stevenson go hard to the rim, didn't finish under control. The rebound comes down to the Rainbow Warriors.
Getting good
nice
looks.
Ball movement there. Coleman tried to get it over to Rapp at the other corner. It's knocked out of bounds by the Roadrunners. Ken Slaris comes in. They get a little bigger.
Nice proactive D there by Higgins to get all the way down to the baseline from the top of the key to knock that out. It's going to have to be like that every single possession on D. Both Lithuanians in there with their length. for the Roadrunners.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. Left-handed three is short there by Coleman. And here comes Higgins in transition. Driving in, and nice defense by McClanahan, who's done a terrific job thus far on Higgins.
Look at this matchup right in front of us, right in front of us.
Kinsleris trying to set a pick there. Here's Sevicic. Nothing's come easy. Stevenson pulls up. That's off the iron. Rebound comes down, tapped by De Silva. And then knocked out. McCoy knocks it off of Kinsleris' leg. Great job by McCoy. And it'll be Hawai'i ball.
And Greg, the runners are working hard. They're getting pretty good looks at the shot, pretty good looks here, and they're trying to get some stuff off the glass too. This Hawaii team is maybe playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, as you've mentioned, but the Roadrunners are putting the effort in, and they're getting 4 or 5 footers.
Marvin McGee back into the game for the runners. So McClanahan working on Higgins. Here comes McCoy straight into the paint, puts up the baby hook, misses. A little frustrated with himself, thought that was going to go down. Here's McGee. They need to somehow get some breathing room against this Hawaii defense, get an open look from three-point range, or just something to get the offense going. Everything they've made, they've earned. Here's Pinopio. He's on a heater. So Pinopio knocks down a three. Aran Ganat not happy. That was great.
They were yelling, shooter, 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 all the way around. Pinopio ran all the way around the court, and they said, shooter, shooter, shooter.
And McClanahan rattles one home from in the paint, inside the paint. And it's back to 9. Rod Barnes barking out a play call here. Shot clock at 13. Pinopio gives it up to Kinsleris. Deep corner three off the iron. Rebound comes down weak side to Coleman.
I like that play call. That's nice. They're all over Pinopio. He just kicks it to the corner. Almost went down.
Higgins working on Coleman. Coleman gets him on his shoulder, and we're going to get a foul call there on Higgins.
Only their 4th, though, Greg, as a team.
But a 2-shot foul. With 3:57 to play, we got another timeout. It's Hawaii on top, 29-20. We'll be right back. Bakersfield, California, with Hawaii on top of CSU Bakersfield, 29-20 with 3:57 to play in the first half. And the Rainbow Warriors will be going to the foul line to try to extend that lead. It's a 2-shot foul coming up. Foul on Caleb Higgins. You look at Aran Ganat's crew right there. Confirming with the officials, they got a 2-shot foul there. And here is the last play. Right at you, Coleman driving in and getting the foul call there on Higgins.
Yeah, Modestus has got to do more than reach in there. Kinsleris has got to step over a little bit just to slow him down. It's enough. I mean, it's not your guy, but try to slow him down a little bit. You get a team like Hawaii, layup looks just as if Hawaii gives Roadrunners layup looks down here, and it's just not going to fly. So Greg, the other night, Roadrunners against Irvine, fantastic first half. Boy, the second half, the lid got closed on the hoop. They had great looks, good shots. They were close to the hoop. They just weren't going in.
So Noel Coleman, if you notice, when he drove down the lane, used his right hand. He is a lefty. And you would expect guys at this level to do that, but not everyone does.
Leopoldsburg, Belgium.
And he makes them both. So the lead is back to 11, the largest it's been for the Rainbow Warriors. Kinsleris working down low on McCoy, puts it up. McCoy gets a piece of it and gets the rebound, pulls it down. So nice job by McCoy defensively.
The one-man defensive crew there, blocked it, got it back. Mo's just got to keep taking it at him. Right now he's got to work on defense, so I'll guarantee you looking to get the ball to McCoy.
De Silva picked up his dribble, gives it out to McClanahan. McClanahan splits the defense. He's got Kinsleris on him right now.
There's a mismatch there. Uh-oh.
Kicks it out to Coleman. 3 on the shot clock. Don't know if Coleman knows it, but puts it up after the fake and drills it home. So the Rainbow Warriors shooting at a much better pace than their game against Fullerton as well, and that was on their home floor. The largest lead of the game right now for the Rainbow Warriors at 13. The Roadrunners need some offense in the last 3 minutes. And Marvin McGee III could be a guy to do it. Rebound coming down, fighting for it. That's going to be off Cancelaris. And Coleman did a good job just keeping Cancelaris away from the ball as it trickled out of bounds. And it's Hawaii ball.
And I think Ugnes might have just told Caleb that on that high pick. I'm going to roll, give it to me.
A lot of frustration. You can see faces of the Bakersfield players. The kick out from the left side, the corner is off. Rebound comes down to Cancelaris. Coleman was wide open on that attempt.
There you go.
Up ahead to Yarosevich, who gets the bucket
man.
and the foul on McCoy.
He's been
in
asking for it all half.
He's been talking about that all day. Ruliadev getting ready to check back in, and here he is. McCoy picked up his second foul, so he'll take a seat. Don't want to get a third foul with 2:26 to go.
I mean, that's Ugnes going to the next level. Tell his guards, get me the ball. I'll run the floor from one end to the other. Get it to me. Let me start being productive.
Trying to finish off a three-point play here and cut the lead back down to 10.
Caleb says, I can do that.
One of two players from Lithuania on the Roadrunner roster. And we had somebody in the key, but no worries there. I wonder if they're going to call that at the miss, because it was pretty obvious, but he made it. And it's 33-23. A little backcourt pressure by the Roadrunners, trying to mix things up a little bit and get the Rainbow Warriors out of their rhythm.
2-3 zone.
And a little matchup zone there as well. Into Ruliadev.
Oh, boy.
Who just threw it blindly to the corner. He goes, somebody should be there.
My man better be there.
And he was. Looks like McClanahan's waiting to pull up, and he did.
Oh, gosh.
And he knocks down a three. You can see him sizing that one up.
Well, I mean, McGee was right in his face. That's just a great shot. Maybe tit for tat here.
McGee answers with a three. That's off the iron. Coleman with the rebound. 13-point lead and the ball. Under 2 minutes to play. And we're going to get an offensive foul on Coleman on that one. And Aron Ganat, again, not happy with the call.
Well, Ganat's looking up at the scoreboard, and he says 8-4. He's using the neon lights to make his point.
He's working it.
A bit different disposition than Coach Turner the other night, eh?
Yeah, well, Coach Turner was down by 12. Coach Ganat's up by 13.
You're right. Coach Ganat was not needing to fire his guys up.
Well, one thing you don't want if you're Hawaii is to let the runners get 5 quick ones and then go to the locker room.
Or a foul on their big man.
tries to go inside. Now we get a foul call.
Oh.
And we got Higgins going down. I don't know if that's I just thought it might be an ankle. Instead, foul on Yarosevich, which is unfortunate because he had an easy putback.
And with 90 seconds, he picks up one, but it's all right.
Full court pressure by the Roadrunners. So what I was saying, if you're the Rainbow Warriors, you don't want to give up 5 quick points and suddenly the Roadrunners go in the locker room with a little momentum. And certainly if you're the Roadrunners, you don't want Hawaii knocking down a couple buckets and going in by 15 or 17 points.
I think the Bows might be going for, shots under 7 seconds.
As Coleman crossover to Ruliadev, who gives it up to McClanahan. Great ball movement. Beatty passes on the three. And now McClanahan another three, and he's got it. Back-to-back threes. Great ball movement. Great usage of the clock. And the entire Hawaii bench loving it as the lead is now 16. And there's going to be some talking in the locker room for the Roadrunners because they got their work cut out for them in the second half.
Some unselfish half-court offense.
Higgins, meanwhile, tough shot right there. Rebound comes down to Coleman. It's about a 9-second differential in the shot clock and the game clock. McClanahan goes right by
Yeah, but I'm telling
Higgins,
you, Greg,
then pulls back out.
They're not going to shoot with more than 7 seconds, maybe even less.
De Silva asking for it down low. He's got Cancelaris on him, off glass and scores.
Shot it with 8.
And it is now an 18-point Hawaii lead with 10 seconds left in the half. Roadrunners better get to work. They're holding the ball 40 feet from the cup with 3 seconds left. Higgins tries a long three off the iron, and Hawai'i is going into the locker room, loads of momentum, up by a count of 41-23. Rod Barnes and his crew, they've got some figuring out to do. It's Hawai'i 41, CSU Bakersfield 23 at halftime. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Icardo Center in Bakersfield, California. Greg Kerr alongside Vance Palmer. You see the numbers. Hawai'i on top in this one, in command at this point, 41-23. Still 20 minutes to play, and also a lot going on forward from this night. Let's take a look at what's happening first for... Want to make sure who we had first. That was on me more than anyone else. As these are scores around the league, by the way. Long Beach State, which is coming off a loss, by the way, to Northridge, leading Cal Poly by 1 at halftime. UC Davis taking it to Riverside, 41-22. Fullerton and Irvine, that's Irvine on top by 7 at the half. And Joe Pasternak must be having a fit right now as Santa Barbara, which is already 0-2, trailing UC San Diego at home, 45-24.
This conference is crazy, man.
And that's where the Roadrunners go next. Let's take a look at the schedule for these two schools and some of the broadcasts that we have going on. Hawaii's next 5, they're at CSUN. That's a big one. The Matadors playing great basketball. Then they have Irvine, Riverside. The Roadrunners, meanwhile, at Santa Barbara, at UC Davis, home to Riverside. Then they get Cal Poly, and then they're at CSUN. Broadcast coming up right here on ESPN. Wrestling against Arizona State coming this Sunday. Basketball next week against Santa Barbara, and women's basketball, along with women's basketball against UC Davis. Wrestling in the Chippewa Challenge on the 14th, and then men's basketball against Riverside on January the 18th. Second half just underway, and we've got a whistle. 3 seconds in.
My point I was going to make before going to break about the Roadrunners, Greg, is they've got to really pick it up on D and start. I believe they need to meet the Bows at half court at least. For a little stretch here.
They've definitely got to get them to change up. And that was a nice move by Pinocchio, who drives and scores. And Ron Ganot's smiling. He's going like, wow, this guy is just roasting us, and I can't believe it. And by the way, I thought he got a foul on Coleman just on the sweep when he went through him. That was a nice move to create some contact.
Well, it was an incredulous slice grin because they probably talked about it at half, and the first score is Pinocchio.
Rapp going in with the left hand. Fidelis Akarike getting a hand on that as well.
Attack, there he is. Oh, goodness.
Starting 5 back in for the Rainbow Warriors, why not? Meanwhile, you notice Dolph Pinocchio starting the second half, and again, why not? As he is leading the way with 11 points for the Runners. Higgins with a 3, rattles it home. And the Roadrunners needed that dearly.
Right here, I'd slow McClanahan down just a little bit, just a hair. Just push him to one side, if nothing else. Just shove him over to one side. There you go.
Driving in, pulls back, misses that one off the iron.
That's not the shot they want either.
Rebound comes down.
There you go.
To Ken Slaris. Brings it across, gives it up to Higgins. I wouldn't be surprised if he shot another 3. No foul call there. Does try a long 3. That was really deep. Pinocchio comes down with the rebound and goes off glass, misses. That was tapped out of bounds, and it's go to the Rainbow Warriors. Ron Ganot wanted a flop on Higgins. I got to admit, I'm not a big fan of guards who do that. I understand the effectiveness of it, but I'm not a big fan of it.
I'm going to watch my tongue, because last game, Caleb Higgins got popped right in the face, and I thought he flopped. He might have got hit in the eye.
No. I'm not saying whether he got fouled or not. I'm just talking about the actual concept.
Yeah, right.
Down top to McCoy. McCoy driving, loses control. And I think we're going to get a travel or he slides out of bounds. Either or, it's a turnover.
Much better intensity on defense right now. It's just so obvious. The optics are so much better when they can just cause a little bit of hassle.
You cannot score 13 points in one possession, so they do not need a 3. I think Higgins took a really, really deep 3 last possession. Instead, you can get right down to the bucket. Nice pass inside to Akarike, who misses a bunny right there. That's got to go down for Akarike. That was a nice pass by Higgins. Out top to De Silva, to McClanahan.
Great
Gives it back out to Coleman. McClanahan wants it. Akarike Gets the ball. It's going to be off. Okay. McGee actually goes flying right there for a second into the coaching staff of Hawaii. 18 on the shot clock. Ball was clearly off the Roadrunners. Here it is again. Then McGee. There you go. Down low in the paint. De Silva with the left hand and gets the bounce and scores. That's too deep if you're the Roadrunners. You can't get that deep. 3-foot turnaround. Lead is back to 15.
17 more minutes of that intense D. That's what it's going to take.
Higgins gets it down low to Karake again.
This.
He goes up with the left hand, misses. Tries again. De Silva with the defense. No whistle, no foul. And Karake just can't get it up. Pinocchio goes to the floor. Meanwhile, that's a drive by McCoy, and we're going to get a block on Higgins. And McCoy will go to the line. So one goes to the line, foul is on one for the Roadrunners. Looks like Yarosevicic will come in for Karake.
Okay, the Roadrunners have thrown a couple blows. They've thrown a couple punches here, and Hawaii's trying to answer back with their own body blows. But this is how it's going to be for 17 minutes if the Roadrunners want to pull this thing out. It's going to be a battle of attrition.
So McCoy makes the first of two. They do have a promotion here if an opposing player misses both free throws. It's Chick-fil-A for everyone, but McCoy took care of that with the first shot. It's for the entire second half, by the way. Second one by McCoy is good as well. And the lead is back to 17.
Modestus in the corner over there. He's trying to lure out.
Pull up by Higgins, knocks him down. Probably his favorite spot on the floor. Left side of the key. Meanwhile, McClanahan working on Higgins, and Higgins is working hard on defense. De Silva, there's a double over there, so McGee, who tried to help out on the double, the skip pass over to Coleman, and he drills the three.
Yeah, that's just a lot of ground to cover, and Coach Barnes is telling him, appreciate the help, but at the end of the day, that's a long, long way to go.
Higgins did a little stutter step, gives it up to Yarosevicic, over to McGee. McGee launches a three, and he's got it.
Mr. Automatic.
So the Runners showing some life and some ball movement in the second half. They haven't cut much into the lead, but they have shown the ability to do so. But they've got to make some stops. They had a few. Coleman, meanwhile, working on the much bigger Ken Slaris. He misses there. And we're going to get a foul call on the Runners as De Silva had the rebound, and then it looked like it was on Yarosevicic, and it is. And we're going to get a timeout here with 15:41 to play. It's Hawaii on top, 48-33. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Icardo Center, Bakersfield, California. Greg Kerr alongside Vance Palm. 15:41 to play on this one. Hawaii on top, 48-33. They'll inbound at 20 on the shot clock. Lanahan looking for an inbound. Gets it out for the three-point attempt, and that is knocked home by Justin McCoy.
Boy, a three-point made
and the lead is back
out
to
of
18.
A baseline inbounds pass.
Yeah.
Hawaii's got 6 seniors, Greg. 6 seniors, so they've been together a bit.
Yeah, 3 graduates and 3 more seniors. McGee, left hand, that was a tough one going off glass, driving through the lane.
Well, Hawaii didn't show. They didn't come over to help.
There's McCoy trying another one, and he knocks down another one.
Rod's going to probably call a timeout, I think. I think he will.
And these Rainbow Warriors just run to spots. Coleman ran to his corner. You had McCoy run into his wing. And now the lead is 21, the largest. Higgins, that's off the mark. Rebound comes down to the Rainbow Warriors, and here we go. Tom Beattie into the game, by the way, for Hawaii. He can shoot the three as well.
Oh, look at
Inside to De Silva, who throws it down over Modestus Canceleros, who grabs his face. I think Modestus got the worst end of that one. The lead is 23. Naran Ganon's in defensive stance. And now we get a foul call on McCoy. That's going to bring in Ruliadef. McCoy picks up his third. And that's good news for the runners because McCoy just hit back-to-back threes.
Yeah, but now they're going to get a 7-1 guy coming in at him.
Yeah. Morissette comes in for De Silva, so they trade their big men in and out.
Runner's going to counter with Tom Mark. Some athleticism and some bounce in there. Pretty good matchups right here, all the way around.
You want to try a pick and roll, Tom Mark might be the guy to lob up to.
It's good 5 right here for the runners.
Pinocchio still leads the way with 11 points. Baseline off glass, nice shot by Corey Stevenson.
Yep. Whoever can do it, whoever can slash and get in there and create some seams, runners got to use them.
Clanahan driving straight to the rim. We're going to get a foul call.
Man, these two guards are going
It's going to be a two-shot foul. Was that on Higgins? I haven't seen a signal yet. It is on Higgins. So that's 3 on Higgins.
These guys are both 5'10". They play with the heart of a lion. Fast, aggressive, both can shoot. Great matchup. But right now, it's all about McClanahan having 12 under for his 13th point.
They missed the first. You know, I'd have to look around because McClanahan's dad goes to almost every game. First of all, McClanahan is from California, but he was at the game in Hawaii. He goes to a lot of games. He sometimes wears a jersey or at least a number that shows you that he's the dad. But he missed both. So Chick-fil-A for the fans, and maybe a spark for the runners.
There you go.
Didn't expect the guard to miss 2 free throws. We're going to get a foul there on Morissette.
And that's my point, Greg. Get it down to Fidelis for a couple of different reasons. If no other reason, you get the 7'1" guy to get a couple fouls. Fidelis has had a little trouble getting the ball up and over those guys, but man, get them to foul you and start doing it chess piece by chess piece.
That's 2 on Sec. Inside it goes to Stevenson, who promptly lost it, gathered it back, and goes up against Beatty, and it looks like we're going to get a foul call.
Well, they put the ball on the floor right away, which is
going to be a 2-shot foul.
Dangerous to do, but he got him to reach enough, and we've seen Corey Stevenson. He is one very strong, aggressive, athletic player.
Matthew Cotton getting ready to come back into the game. I can't see the other. I think it looks like, is that Munoz? It's Munoz. Thank you very much.
Well, Cotton went to Yale, so he can help you out. He's a smart guy. He's a smart cat.
Tell you what, I may have driven by Yale, but I never went there.
I mean, look at these graduate transfers. North Carolina, Yale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Smart enough to move to Hawaii, right? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that's a pull for sure. Corey can knock this down.
He made both of them. So the lead is 19.
A little pressure.
Backcourt pressure by the Roadrunners.
Sure.
Get some fresh legs in there and pressure the Rainbow Warriors. Try to get to the time clock. Sec has not brought it across yet. Now he does. Gives it up to Munoz.
That's all right. If you get it to your 7'1" guy to break the press, you've done a good job.
Foul on Fidelis Okereke for reaching.
It's third. And I think if you're the Hawaii coaching staff, if you can get the Roadrunners' strongest, most aggressive post player down there to reach out here on one of their guards, that's a plus. Fidelis going to have to take a seat for a little bit.
Now Tom Mark's going to get the assignment to stand next to Sec. Giving up good 5 inches. Shot clock at 10. Coleman working in it against Stevenson. Gets into the paint, kicks it out. Munoz gives it up to Cotton in the corner, off the back rim, or the side rim, and rebound comes down to the runners. They're trying to cut into this sizable lead. Pinocchio to Wilbon. Wilbon, the entry pass to Mark. Mark and Sky.
Oh, that was going to be a big-time dunk.
He was going to get a block, though. It looked like it could have been a travel almost because he was having trouble holding on to the ball.
Corey was looking to flush that. He was looking to dunk this right here.
There he came in, yeah. Rulli enough just cut him off and put him down to the floor. Now the referees are saying knock it off as we're getting a little, what would you call it, physicality?
Yeah.
Which is not in the dictionary?
Not in the dictionary. It gets used all the time.
Yeah, there you go. All right, they kick it out top to Stevenson, who gives it up to Pinocchio. Seen Gaskin into the game. He's a blur going to the rim. And there he goes. He kicks it out. Nice ball movement there. Open shot, missed by Stevenson. Rebound comes down to Wilbon, to Pinocchio, who's working on Munoz. Off the rim, rebound comes down by the runners, though. Tom Mark with the rebound. Pinocchio tries the three, and he's got it. So a lot of hustle resulted in being rewarded with a three-point shot, and Pinocchio knocking it down.
I mean, Dolph's such a complete player.
He's got a team high 14. Meanwhile, Coleman, who had a straight line to the basket,
Go to the bucket,
came
buddy.
up short there, and they give it to Pinocchio. Why not?
They got to get him open. There you go.
He's going to drive in and off the glass. Are we going to get a goaltend? It is going to be a goaltend. The basket counts. It's now 56-42. It's a 14-point lead. 11:37 to play, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the Icardo Center in Bakersfield, California. Good look at Dolph Pinocchio right there. 16 points. He has been certainly a inspiration for the runners who are trying to claw back into this game, down by as many as 21 at one point. In fact, 23, I think. Backcourt pressure there. Is that a foul or a travel? Looks like it's going to be on Wilbon.
But you said it best, Greg. Claw their way back in this thing. They're not going to drop 9 threes, that aren't contested. They're not going to get easy buckets. They're going to have to work on defense. It is a full claw effort, like your reference.
And again, Greg Kerr alongside Vance Palm at the Icardo Center. 11:30 to play in this one. They try to get it across half court, and they do. Runners making them work.
Exactly. It's a team that's up 14.
And you don't want to leave McCoy open, that's for certain. Instead, Coleman puts up a three, misses. McCoy does a great job coming weak side, get a rebound, but misses it, and it comes down to Pinocchio. Now the runners can cut this down to 12, possibly 11.
Yep. See, I like this breakdown right here. Coleman's a good player, but Gaskin can break him down.
Gaskin to the rim, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. Instead, and no foul call as McCoy went to the ground trying to grab possession of the steal. Shot clock is at 6. Missed there by the runners, and here come the Rainbow Warriors. So a lot of action, but nothing happened other than Eran Ganot getting his message across to one of the officials.
And the runners losing 2 nice opportunities there. They need those.
Yes, they do.
There you go. Good. Nice little rotation there.
Inside to De Silva. It's in the paint. Now McCoy from the short corner, back to De Silva. Shot clock at 3. Pull up. Coleman tries a desperation 3. Doesn't even draw iron. It's going to be Roadrunner basketball.
Yep, Coach Barnes and his staff and all the fans here in the Icardo, they clap. They like it. They're seeing, look, that's what Greg Kerr's talking about. They got to claw their way back in.
And Eran Ganot wants his point guard back in, so McClanahan comes back in to try to stabilize things offensively. A lot of time left in this one. 10-15 to play.
Ton of time.
I mean, yeah, it was down 23 at one point. Doesn't sound good, but it's a 14-point game right now. And with the ball, and Higgins to Pinocchio. No, we have a late foul on that one.
And I don't. The coaching staff's not going to like it.
That's going to be a 3-shot foul.
But if
and he's telling the coach, Ganot, back up. As Pinocchio will go to the line to shoot 3, as he was run into after the shot. It was a darn late whistle.
Well,
If we can take a look at that one, Kyle, there we go.
he's going to give us
See this
another
one
look.
from this angle.
Yeah, he got his right arm, got his shooting arm. That's what I thought. And I asked Kyle if he could give us one different look, and that's the one that gets him on the bottom of the elbow. And Greg, I'm not a homer, I'm not sticking up for him, but that's when you will get a late call. After you see the follow through on the defensive side, that's when it takes a millisecond to hit that elbow, and that's exactly what happened. I think the coaching staff from Hawaii didn't like it when it happened, but they'll look back and say, all right.
So Pinocchio makes the first of 3.
Dolph, I was talking about earlier, just extremely well-rounded player, obviously a great shooter, great dribbler, quick thinker, knows the game very well. He's played international basketball.
We got to dig up his career high.
Well, he's half
He's
half
18
Italian,
right now.
half Filipino, so he's got, two sides of the world that follow his path. Very talented young man and well-loved by his team.
My Tagalog is limited to mabuhay and a few other words, but we'll go with that. I lived in the Philippines for 2 years, and I learned about 5 words when I was in high school. So the lead is down to 11. And the runners have found a little bit of lightning in a bottle in terms of just their efficiency defensively. And De Silva goes straight to the rim against Tom Mark and draws the foul.
I'll tell you what,
he will go to the foul line.
And De Silva was out of control. He was out of control, boy. If Tom was able to kind of just stand there and take that charge, you never know. Looked like Silva was just going that direction no matter what,
Yeah, he was definitely just eyes on getting to the paint. Silva, as you can see, with 12 points, and that one rattles home. And the lead is now 12.
Runners need to trust each other. They need to trust each other on defense. They need to trust each other on offense. They need to believe that together, if they can stick this out and really make it tough, anything can happen.
And the second one's good. Well, you can imagine if the Roadrunners get close enough where this is a couple of possession game, this place will be going nuts.
No question.
Hawaii will be feeling a little bit because they haven't been tested yet. So there's work to be done. It's a 13-point lead. Higgins pulls up right there. That's his favorite spot, his favorite shot, and he knocks it down, and it's back to 11. If Caleb Higgins can get to that spot, he is pretty much darn lethal. Meanwhile, McCoy working on the smaller DePopio. Now De Silva on Wilbon. Back out to McCoy, back into De Silva, who's backing down Wilbon, and that was Jack didn't go the other way.
See, put something together here, get a good shot.
Deep
How about
three
this?
by Higgins. Off, rims in and out. Rebound comes down, but you can hear the crowd even ooh. So they're saying, let's get back in this thing. McClanahan, spin move, drives in, and he is going to get the bucket and the foul. And that's why Aaron Ganad got him back in the game.
Well, first things first, Caleb Higgins, that's not a bad shot. He makes a lot of those, and like you say, if it goes in, all of a sudden, this place is going to go bonkers, and he's taking that shot a lot, and it rattled in and out. But down here, you got to play transition D, because if there's one guy as hungry or hungrier than Caleb Higgins, it's Javon McClanahan.
And that foul, by the way, was on Higgins. And I think, even though it's not up on the board here, I think that might have been 4 on him.
4 on Caleb?
I could be wrong. I'd have to take a closer look.
You're right, Greg. He had 3 last time out.
So with 8:42 to play, McGee thought he had a back door. Stevenson loses it in traffic. And here come the Rainbow Warriors. The lead is 13, and they have the ball. De Silva on the pick and roll doesn't get it. McClanahan loses it in traffic. He was dancing.
Yeah, one too many dribbles.
A nice bounce pass to Canceleras, who goes up and in. And the lead is back down to 11. Dalton Pinocchio with the nice assist. Beatty gives it over to McCoy. McCoy across the timeline, working on Wilbon. Back to McClanahan, and we're going to get a foul here.
Wow.
On McGee. Looks like it was getting a little contentious there for a second.
You know, Dre, with that foul and this timeout, maybe just exactly what the doctor ordered for the Roadrunners.
We shall see. With 8 minutes to go, it's 60-49 Hawaii. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Icarta Center, Bakersfield, California. Greg Kerr alongside Vance Palm. And Hawaii, which has been in command all night long, leading 60-49. Runners, however, have cut into what was once a 23-point lead. And Jovan McClanahan will go back to the line. Missed his last two, which means everyone here is going to get free Chick-fil-A. Now, if you're asking, do they get double the Chick-fil-A if he does it again? No, they don't.
Only Greg gets that.
And I don't think he's going to miss two here anyway. He's got the first.
I've heard you walk by that Cal mascot before and say, I'll put you on TV, just one more. Give me one more card, one extra card, and I'll get you on TV. I
cannot deny that.
I try to keep an eye on you, Gregory. Okay, got Modestus in there, Gaskin in there.
Ball boy doing his thing, the little mop.
Corey Stevenson, Mr. Automatic, Marvin McGee. Dolph with his career high. So they can put a little magic together.
Career high 19 for Dolph.
Last 8 minutes.
And McClanahan gets both of them. McClanahan with 14. McCoy has 15. De Silva has 16. Balanced scoring by the Rainbow Warriors. Pinocchio pulls up mid-ranger. He's got it. Ron Ganot's going, okay, we got to have a different scouting report when they come to Hawaii. At least on Pinocchio, right?
Skip over here.
Pass over to Beatty. Was working on Pinocchio. Entry down low to De Silva. Pushed down a little bit by Kinsleris. Don't want to foul. He did slap at the ball, though. We're going to get a jump. Gaskin and De Silva, both number 5, going at it. Now we're getting a little scuffle down there. De Silva a little frustrated with all the contact.
Runners are trying to help him up. They went down to help the guy up. He got kind of heated.
So it's going to stay here. Shot clock at 9. A lot of times when you reach in and slap down on the ball, you get called for a foul. Kessler's got all ball there, and our mop boy's getting a lot of TV time, too. He's out there again.
Boy, this would be a big stop right here, Greg. Big stop. The runners can get it. Uh-oh.
Inside to McCoy. He's working on Kensleris. Almost had a jump there again. Shot clock at 3. That one's put up, and we're going to get a foul call on Pinocchio, who says no. Wow. All right, Dolph Pinocchio doesn't like to call it all, so we should probably look at it and see if he's got a legit gripe here. Well, that's going to take McClanahan back to the line to shoot 3 more.
When it gets to be so little time left on the shot clock, you have to really be careful on that. If you're going to go out and challenge something, you know, with 20 seconds on the shot clock, that's a little different.
Misses the first.
With 4 seconds left on that, you've done all that work, you put all that effort in.
Makes the second. So he's made 3 of his last 4.
With 7-17.
3 of 6 for the game.
Only a 12-point game here.
And the third and final one is no good. Stevenson hits the floor, and it looks it's going to be Roadrunner ball, even though De Silva was pointing Rainbow Warrior way.
Well, Justin McCoy cleared out 2 Roadrunners.
I know this. That's a gift having the guard miss 2 out of 3.
Boy, and Coach Barnes, look, the official was looking, he cleared out 3 guys.
12-point game. Gaskin working on Cotton. No, I think if they clear the key and let Gaskin go to the rim, he's going to get to it. He is that quick.
You got McGee over there in the corner.
Arms to Pinocchio. He can't. Pinocchio with the ball, and he's going to launch one. That's short. Goes over the rim.
Yeah.
And you can't expect Dolph Pinocchio to turn into.
Well, he's
name your favorite player who shoots a lot.
He's hot, but that's you can tell by Coach Barnes that this wasn't exactly what they're looking for.
Exactly.
That's good D there by...
Good defense by Gaskin.
Look at this. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And now they're going to ask for a timeout. They're going to get one. And so we've got one as well. We'll see if this is a 30-second or extended. We'll wait for the officials to give it to us. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout with 6:32 to play. Your thoughts, Vance, as the runners trying to get back into this thing?
Man, we see, and they turned it into a full, Greg. They turned it into a full.
Oh, they did?
So I don't know if our big shot.
Okay, so full timeout. That means we'll take one. With 6:32 to play, it's Hawai'i on top by a dozen. We'll be right back. And we're back at the Icardo Center. Foul called on Fidelis Okereke. It looks like the Rainbow Warriors will go back to the foul line again.
Man, he just picked up his 4th with 6:28 left, again on a reach. It's a reach foul. And Fidelis knew himself. He was instantly frustrated with himself because that big banging body of his, they need him down there in the paint. And he's about to get subbed in for on another reach foul.
Clanahan's been a frequent visitor to the foul line of late. Makes that one. Tom Mark into the game for Okereke.
And we've all been there, Fidelis. We've all been there. That ball looks like it's right in front of you. You get it. You can get it. You can get it. And that little guard pulls it away and overreacts on the bump foul. And
the second one is good. And the lead is back to 14. Hawai'i trying to even their Big West record at 1-1 before they make a trip to the surprise of the league, Northridge.
Oh,
Gaskin loses actually gives it off to McGee, who loses the handoff and going to turn over, and now it's going to be the Rainbow Warriors going back to the foul line again. The foul on McGee, and that'll send Coleman to the line. And just what you don't want is a couple of turnovers and or fouls that send them to the foul line, and they're getting 4 free looks at the basket.
Some self-inflicted wounds here out on the perimeter and reaching fouls. And
Lucas Yarosevicic back into the game.
And then, that gives the opponent an opportunity to start point by point, free throw by free throw, start to build this lead up again. It was at 11, at 9 at one point. Now it's back to 15.
And the second one is good as well. Caleb Higgins back into the game for Naseem Gaskin. And the lead is 16. It was 18 at half. Built to as much as 23, cut down to 11. Higgins, meanwhile, working on McClanahan.
A lot of times going off the clock, though. We're down to 9 or 8 seconds
shot
here.
Clock under 10. Step back. That's a 3. It's off the iron. Rebound comes down to Coleman. Here come the Rainbow Warriors.
They may pull it back.
Yeah, not in really any hurry, to be honest with you. But they get it to Silva, who backs down Yarosevicic. It looked like he traveled.
Yeah,
he changed pivot feet.
Good call there.
Absolutely.
I think Hawai'i was undecisive of what they wanted to do there. Were they going to pull it back? Well, they throw it down to their big fella. It's okay, we can go with that. But then he kind of delayed, and it turned into a kind of a discombobulated possession. Higgins right back out again.
Yeah, Dolph Pinocchio back in.
Huh.
Pinocchio with a career high 21. Meanwhile, Stevenson behind the back draws the foul on Beatty right there.
And actually, Beatty's a really good defender. Very aggressive. He's long. He doesn't look as tall as he is, 6'4". He's a really good defender, but Corey Stevenson's an absolute stick of dynamite. He is forceful.
And now we're going to get another foul call.
Well, that helps the Roadrunners kind of slow this thing down now.
That's on Beatty as well.
Coach Gannott, not a fan of these calls.
He's wondering what's going on. So Stevenson goes to the line. This will be 1-1, so the runners certainly need this from Corey.
The official told Gannott, because Aaron wanted to know what was going on. He goes, look, he's got to beat him to the spot if he wants to charge.
Runners are perfect. Should I even say it?
There we
8
go.
for
You know
8
what?
from the foul line. I caught myself mid-sentence.
Okay, you're all right. You caught
it.
yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
Runner fans, it's the dean of local sports that did that, not me.
I owe everyone a Chick-fil-A.
There you go. They're paying back, Greg.
Good pressure there. Almost got the steal. Ball on the ground. The runner's really fighting for it. We're hearing a timeout, but we don't know if they got it.
They burn now they're down to 1. Not that they're going to,
It looks like they're getting a timeout here. And this one's going to be a 30. This one will be a 30.
They're going to keep it as a 30.
So they got the timeout. The shot clock's at 17. No worries there. Game clock at 5:12. The lead is 15.
Well, but for what it's worth, they're down to their 1 timeout left, and it's that pressure defense
I like
by the road
runners on the floor. 3 runners on the floor. Right there. See the timeout there called by the staff on the Hawai'i bench.
That tall young man right in the middle of your picture there. That's the gentleman, Justin McCoy. Came over from North Carolina. Got going early here tonight.
Have you ever been to a basketball game in North Carolina?
I have, but it was Appalachian State. It wasn't UNC or Duke, my man. But I was up in Boone during the winter.
There you go. I worked in Greenville for 3 years, and I tell you what, the ACC tournament, unbelievable.
So now you're seeing Coach Gannott intentionally pulling it out, but there's 2 on the shot clock. It's got to go up.
And there it is.
Oh,
McCoy
man.
Off the rim. Nice block out by Tom Mark, and the rebound comes down to McGee. And the runners need buckets, and a few threes would be timely as well. Stevenson working on Beatty and getting yet another foul. And Coach Gannott cannot believe it. His staff gets up as well.
Well, I've been talking about Beatty's defensive prowess.
I think they have a gripe on that one.
He covers a lot of ground, and the Kiwi's going to come off, say woo-wee. He said woo-wee.
Is that what he said?
That's New Zealand for come on.
So Stevenson back at the line. Again, it's the 1-and-1, so they need this one to drop. Oh, that one's short off the mark. So the runners come up empty, and they cannot have many empty possessions, so they want to try to pull this one out in the last 4.5 minutes.
Well, now you see Gannott's content. He's going to pull back. There's no reason to put the ball in the Roadrunners' hands too early.
Flanagan wide open. In and out. Rebound tapped out by Silva. Nice back tap. Or excuse me, I think that was McCoy that tapped that out. Shot clock at 9. Coleman gives it up to McCoy. Nice ball movement. Over to Cotton. Pass deflected.
Good job by Tom.
Nice job by the Roadrunners and Tom Mark.
Where in the world was that going?
Don Pinocchio throwing a skip pass to McGee in the corner. McGee wasn't there yet.
Yeah, I think
closest one to it was maybe that young man on the bench. So with 3:59 to play, it's all Hawaii 67-52, and we'll be right back. To the Icarno Center in Bakersfield, California. Greg here alongside Dan Paul. Some of the scores around the league. Cal Poly with a 1-point lead on Long Beach State. That game has under 8 minutes to play right now. Meanwhile, UC Davis taking it to Riverside, 71-53, and that's at Riverside. Irvine holding on to a 4-point lead. That has 6 minutes to play against Fullerton. And Santa Barbara's clawing back, but down 11 points to UC San Diego. And that game has under 5 minutes to play. And again, it's an 11-point lead in favor of UC San Diego. Wow. Santa Barbara's staring at a possible 0-3 start. So too are the Roadrunners, and they meet each other next week in Santa Barbara. So 67-52. 3:59 to play. McCoy will him down after the Roadrunner turnover.
Full court pressure here from trying to create something.
That was the 9th turnover by the Roadrunners. Not a bad number per game. Meanwhile, they're going to use as much clock as they possibly can. No hurry to get a shot off. McClanahan dribbling against Marvin McGee III. And we're going to whistle here.
Year 7 just got popped right in the head. Oh, man. I hear that through my headset.
And that foul's going to be on Yarosevich, it looks like.
Watch this right here in the screen to your left of your screen. Boom, he got hit.
Oh, he did flail with his arm.
Yeah, that's on Ugnis.
See what we get here.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at it. The officials are going to go over to, I mean, I heard that thing through my headset. That was like a, oof.
Take a look at it one more time. This would probably be the best angle.
Oh, they headbutted. They headbutted. I don't think that's, wouldn't that be unintentional?
I saw the arm fly up after, but I didn't see the headbutt at first. But that's definitely a headbutt.
Oh, that's cheek on cheek. That's a jawbone on a jawbone right there. Boom. And I think De Silva kind of raised his hands a little bit
after they made the connection with each other. Yeah, that was like both of them took a hit.
And the official on the baseline made the call. I think based on that, the reaction. I think if they look at it right now, I think they may do a jump ball, possession arrow, maybe. We'll see.
Good possibility. So the officials taking a closer look at the replay. Look like pretty clear cut. But they have all three officials look at it too, so they can get opinions of all three.
Greg, the Roadrunners heading over to Santa Barbara
next Thursday,
7 p.m. Can you imagine, an 0-3, 0-3 battle over there? Both teams will be in that must-win
mode
atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then they hop on the road all the way up to Sacramento to take on Davis. So the Roadrunners, a real true gut check time for this Bakersfield team. And for Hawaii, they're hoping to... Oh, they're going to say it was a foul. Wow. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised at that. I didn't think there was any kind of intent whatsoever on Ugnis Yarosevich. They bumped heads.
So De Silva will go to the line.
I'm flummoxed over that one, Greg.
Irvine's lead over Fullerton is now 1 with 2:40 to play. Silva, meanwhile, misses the first. San Diego still has a 13-point lead on Santa Barbara with 2:45 to play. Davis is just working up the clock at an 18-point lead over Riverside. Long Beach, Cal Poly, Long Beach has now taken the lead, 63-59 with 5.5 to play.
But who did Riverside beat early?
I have to think back to that.
Did they beat Long Beach?
No, they did not. I don't think they did. Long Beach lost to Northridge.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there you go. That's who it was. I'm trying to look at stats here and do recall at the same time on a whole other topic.
They might have beaten Davis or Poly. I'm not really sure. Maybe even Fullerton. Now that I think about it, it might have been Fullerton as we have 13 on the shot clock here, 3:20 to play. 68-52, and Pinocchio puts up a little floater and scores. Rod Barnes wants a timeout. Pinocchio adds to his career high with 23. And this one's going to be a 30-second timeout. Dolph Pinocchio with a night to remember. It'd only be nicer if they were to win the game. And that's going to be a tall task. As you look at Dolph right here one more time. Prior to the Philippines right there. I'll have to ask Dolph more about his family in the Philippines. I, of course, lived in Subic Bay for 2 years.
Well, when he came here, there was all kinds of cross-media references to him. And, the Philippines is a basketball,
it's a mecca. It's unbelievable basketball there.
He arrived here with some fanfare, and as we talked about, a very well-rounded player. He's got his Roadrunner high in his career at 23, but
when it comes to fandom, the state of North Carolina has nothing on the country of the Philippines. And I mean that.
Trap down low, double.
McCoy trying to help press there. That's Coleman bringing it across. Tom Mark trying to double the ball. Back to McCoy. Shot clock, lots of time at 15. Back out to McClanahan.
Runners down 14, so it's a numbers game now. With
Game
the clock
is, dipped under 3. The double team out front, and the steal by Mark. Aranganat yelling no foul. Pinocchio going into the paint, pulls it out. McGee, who wanted a 3, just double dribble
that's a
in front of
double
everyone. I don't know if we got it. They're going to fix the shot clock, I think.
Yeah, I thought there was a late whistle and a double dribble.
So they're going to fix the shot clock, but I saw a double dribble.
Didn't happen. So with 2:40 left, down 14, another steal by the Roadrunners.
So they're working on game clock, shot clock.
Greg, that's the Roadrunners' 6th steal. They've been active on D. They've had a couple of really, nice rotations. But Hawaii, this is a tough squad to come back 14 on with 2:40 left. They've got so many weapons at crucial times. They're going to take the ball down and grind down the shot clock every possession. The runners have got to get stuff up quickly and save some time and then get that full court pressure D on. A tough climb here for the Roadrunners. And
so they're still looking at the clock situation, make sure they're as accurate as possible. So they're adjusting the shot clock now. I thought I heard him say 22, but I'm not sure. We'll see what it was. Oh, it's 19. So 22 sounds nothing like 19. 2:40 in the game clock, 19 on the shot clock. Hawaii with a 14-point lead, and Higgins with the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if he launched 3, because they need 3s right now. And how about Marvin McGee III? He's got to put that thing up sooner. Gonna get a foul call on Cotton.
They're going to call it on Cotton, and the coaching staff, of course, disagrees.
It's going to be 2 shots as Tom Mark comes back into the game for Higgins. Higgins has 4 fouls, so you don't want him playing defense.
As we sit here, we're always we're embedded in so much that happens around us that I always try to eavesdrop on the visiting team, try to get an insight and a look at them and what they talk about. And it frustrates coaches when they feel like their post player is doing everything he's supposed to do on D, and then the call goes against him, but the official said he grabbed him, and Coach Knott said, no, he didn't. Coach Barnes makes it so tough to come in here at Icardo Center. Since the Icardo has been built, 81% win percentage in this gym. A tough place to come in here and win, and Coach Barnes has done his job here too. Down 12, Greg.
12 with 2.5 to go. Full court pressure again. McCoy looking, eyes up, trying to get it across the timeline against Mark, and he does. To McClanahan. McClanahan looked like he was going to the hole, but he kicks it back out to McCoy. McCoy dribbles in and dribbles out. And the steal there by McGee, but he was out of bounds. So 10 on the shot clock. And McGee saying he hit me in my face. But I can guarantee you they're not going to the video.
Yeah, there's a lot of chit-chat about the flop. We talked about this against Irvine. It's a topic for sure.
You can bet the next drive will actually produce a shot because they are down the shot clock. Cotton steps back and misses up the glass. It's going to be a foul for the runners on the rebound.
You got to be kidding me.
We got that. That's going to be on Yarosevich. It's 4 on Ugnis, as you see right there.
And that shot was a brick.
Yeah,
so that was
Cotton stepped back to shoot a 3, and it was well short.
Man, oh man.
There were 3 runners around the ball as well.
Let's
and
see
here it
this.
is. Take a look
Let's
at this.
See this right here.
It might have been a push in the back. Looked like the start of an extended arm. So De Silva misses the first.
The basketball gods have spoken.
Higgins back in. Take a look at it one more time. They did it. Yeah. I think that was a good call.
Well, you got
you just can't extend
a 6'9" guy and a 6'10" guy, Greg.
Yeah, but you just get
Greg.
Second one is good. So it's a 13-point lead.
I've seen you in those Thanksgiving games you play.
Yeah.
There's not a guy safe down there.
I'm brutal in those
No
games. You're
autopsy, no foul with
You're
you.
right. Higgins,
Oh,
meanwhile,
great
and he gets fouled on the mid-ranger by McClanahan, who's going, really? But McClanahan fouled. Tom Mark's going to come back in if Higgins makes the second foul shot, because he's coming in for Higgins, who has 4 fouls. Ken Slaris will come back in.
He's staring down the official saying, I never touched him. Never touched him.
So the Runners can get this to 11. Oh my goodness. First one goes in and out.
So Tom Martin must be coming in for Higgins.
He is. Higgins has the 4 fouls. They don't want him out there defensively.
Well, I expect to see some full court pressure here from the Road Runners.
And Mark has done a nice job defensively in the pressure defense that they've had. So Higgins makes that one.
McCoy can run the baselines, completely open, going anywhere he wants to go.
Full court pressure, but they did not get in front of McClanahan, and he got across easily. And now with 1:50 to go, they're just going to use the 25 seconds left on the clock, even though the Runners are trying to double the ball occasionally.
I think they're going to get close and then pull it back. They dribble down, then they pull it back.
They're not going to shoot until the clock gets around 5, unless they have a wide open look at the basket. That miss there, but that was 2 guys going at the shooter, and the weak side rebound by De Silva, and he puts it up and in.
Right. Ball came right to him.
Now Stevenson going hard to the rim, and we're going to get a foul call there.
Well, I sure like his.
That's going to be on McCoy. This last minute and whatever may take a while. We're stopping. Every time the Runners have the ball, it stops about every 6 to 8 seconds. Hawai'i's trying to milk it.
Corey Stevenson, Greg, has been a nice addition to this Roadrunner team. He's extremely aggressive. I think any opposing coach that watches tape says that's a real aggressive, athletic guy. Misses there, but the young man out of Bessemer, Alabama, sophomore, came over from Northeast Mississippi Community College. Expect some nice things from him in the future.
Second one is good as Steve Gaskin comes in for a little bit of defense here.
Silva might go deep. Look out. The Silva might go deep.
He's got his arm up, like, look at me. He was just trying to get it across. Top Mark is shadowing McClanahan. Gets it over to McCoy. And we're about to dip under 1 minute as McCoy goes at the bucket and scores.
Shocked that they went for the bucket, went for a score. And then semi-shocked at this big-time athletic play.
Higgins coming back into the game.
That is a nice drive to the bucket. You've got Cancelaris out there at 6'9", trying to stop him and get some help from the other side, and he still puts it off the glass with that soft touch.
Completes the 3-point play. That gives McCoy 18. McClanahan leading the way with 19. Dalton Pinocchio, the leading scorer, scored in the bucket there for the Runners. Pinocchio leads everyone with 23.
That meeting of the minds over there, the Rainbow Warriors are like, hey, look.
So Stevenson with the bucket will go to the line.
Well, McCoy gets his 5th foul, but picked up 18 points, and boy, he showed us a lot of that.
Beatty and Ruliadev come into the game. Cotton's going to come out as well.
All that ACC talent brought in the Icardo tonight. At least he went out with a big-time bucket. Corey's still in there battling, Greg.
He hit those back-to-back threes in the second half that extended the lead. 3-point play by Stevenson.
Yep.
Stevenson now with 14 points. Excuse me, 9 points.
Hey, look at this.
Got the turnover there. I saw the 14, which is Ruliadev's number right next to it. And 9 points for Stevenson.
Quick look. They need a quick trigger here.
20 on the shot clock, 59.1 on the game clock.
Quick trigger, maybe a make. Coach Barnes call a timeout.
And there's Stevenson. He rattles one off. Rod Barnes wants a timeout. It's an 11-point game with 56 seconds played. Another 30-second timeout. Your thoughts as the Roadrunners win or lose? It looks like it's not going to be a win, but going to Santa Barbara and trying to regroup against a Santa Barbara team that, as you mentioned, is searching for a win.
I think any basketball fan that watches any team for any amount of time, home team, and they get to know their roster, and what they see, Greg, is they see, spurts of really, really top-notch basketball, but then they'll see a gap. They'll see a gap in there where it's not top-notch. And if that coincides when your opponent is playing top-notch, boy, it can go from an 8-point game to an 18-point game pretty quickly. So what I see with these Roadrunners is that sometimes when they've got it, that extra level of energy and execution is cranked up, they're as good as anybody in this conference, boy. But if they let down for just a brief second, there's just this conference is so deep with talent.
Full court pressure by the Runners. And
how about this?
The hand of Ruley Death. This is going to be Roadrunner ball.
And Coach Ganot's only got one timeout. Remember that. He burned 2 in the second half. So
Higgins back into the game.
Yep.
Irvine has defeated Fullerton 75-67. Davis about to wrap up a convincing win over Riverside.
Shot's got to go up right now. Instantly. Right now. Got to go up.
That's not the guy. This could be Higgins, short corner. Off the iron, rebound comes down to Beatty.
Yep.
We're going to get a foul call.
11-point lead, 47 seconds. Here comes Dolph back in. Would have liked to seen his hot hand in there in that last inbounds play. Stretch that defense out with Higgins, and Marvin McGee.
Pinocchio back into the game. Davis over Riverside, 80-59 with just over a minute to play.
Wow.
Long Beach State is now pulled away from Cal Poly. That game was tied for a good portion of the second half with Beatty makes one. It's now 76-68 Long Beach State with a minute 20 left. And its final, San Diego has defeated Santa Barbara 79-72. Beatty makes both. It's now 76-63. Rod Barnes has always talked about scoring, need to score around 72, 73 points. Thinks they're capable of that. They need to do that. And they're coming up short of that mark. Stevenson showing a lot of aggressiveness offensively.
Love his fight. Love his fight.
Scores there, and it's an 11-point game. Pass tipped out of bounds. As Stevenson runs into Coach Ganot. Great hustle by Corey. Don't think that Rod Barnes isn't noticing this, because he certainly is. 33.4 on the game, 20 on the shot clock.
If nothing else, Coach Ganot's got something to talk about on the bus ride down to LAX. Gotta close. Oh, he tripped on himself. Yep.
So the ball will go here for the Runners because it wasn't touched. So it'll go back to the entry point. It'll be Roadrunner ball. I don't think they're going to LAX. They got a game in Northridge. So they're not going to LAX yet.
They're going to LA. So on the road trip to LA, Coach Ganot's going to say, guys, we put all this work into 19 minutes or 18 and a half minutes in the second half to look a little shabby here late. Coach Barnes.
Stevenson with the inbounds.
Probably call a timeout if they can drop a bomb in here very quickly. Marvin, pull the trigger right now.
Stevenson looks to be too quick for Ruley Adapt.
Yeah, he's too quick for everybody.
Straight to the rim. We're going to get a foul. That's a bonus for the Roadrunners. You can score and the clock stops.
Well, we talked about Corey's athleticism, but the fight in him is what's really catching everybody's eyeballs tonight. Just does not want to quit.
Makes the first. So the lead is now 10. Hasn't been that in quite some time.
14 points for Corey. 10-point ball game, like you said. Goodness. And I think if this free throw goes in, Rod's probably going to call a timeout.
And now it's 9.
No, he decides to keep it. Press offense is, okay, yeah, you know what? He read my mind. I think Coach Ganot has seen enough of his press offense. When you have to run a guy across the baseline like that to get it in, that's not good.
But Coach Ganad calls a timeout. See if this is a full or a 30. We've got 29.8 to go. So we're going to see if this is... Looks like it's a full timeout here, but let's stand right here. So let's update you once again on the scores that we have here in the Big West Conference. Irvine defeating Fullerton by a final of 75-67. UC Davis about to put the finishing touches on their game against UC Riverside. That one was under a minute last we checked. We'll see if it's gone final yet. 40 seconds left, 83-61. Long Beach State with a minute left, a minute one to be exact, with a 7-point lead on Cal Poly, 78-71. So that's not done yet. And again, UC San Diego with a road win at Santa Barbara, 79-72. What is going on at Santa Barbara?
Well, I'd like to see if their whole roster is playing. Don't know if it was banged up yet. I can check the notes tonight or get in there, look at the box score and see, if something's happening. But Greg, the Big West, and look, every announcer for their conference is going to say the same thing that you and I do. The Big West is full of really talented rosters, just like all the other conferences in our country. But I'll tell you what,
A.J. Mitchell's playing, so I'll tell you that. He had 14 tonight for Santa Barbara. So again, 94 feet of pressure by the runners. See if anybody breaks deep for the long pass.
They might. They try.
They double team.
I like this right here. Oh,
good. Get a foul call on McGee. It's going to send Coleman to the line. He made his last two. Lefty was pure his last two. That's why he continues to mount the numbers at the foul line. They are 20 of 29, not the best percentage in the world, but they're getting the trips. Cotton is going to check back into the game.
Bench points for the runners, 41 versus 9 for Hawaii. And a big part of that, though, is the rotations. I mean, they coach every time I look to my left, there's a runner coming in.
So Williadaf comes out, Cotton is in. They'll get all the players off the foul line for the Rainbow Warriors. They're just going to get everybody back near half court. The second one is good. It's now an 11-point lead. Roadrunners can't wait. So McGee launches it. That's well off.
He was touched. He thought he was touched.
And McGee certainly thought there was a foul.
Well, he's too great of a shooter for a shot like that.
And I think we're going to probably see, you got 11-point lead, 18 seconds. I'm not saying they're going to raise the white flag, but I don't know that they're going to foul either. As he gets across half court, they're going to let this one play out. Even though they are doubling still. Now they're just pulling back.
He said back up.
And that's looked like what we've got right here, as this one's going to wind down. And the Roadrunners coming up short on their home floor, losing by a final of 78-67. Your thoughts regarding what we saw tonight?
For the Roadrunners, they're close, Greg. I know that sounds like kind of a cheesy thing to say, but they are close. We see when they put the packages together. Fidelis didn't have his best tonight. Just didn't have the best game tonight. Caleb was good at points, but so much gets put on his shoulders to deliver. We see Dolph coming alive. We see Ugnis and Modestus trying to piece together their season as well. They're getting close. 0-3. The world is not coming to an end. The sky is not falling. They got a lot of time left, but really I think they're getting closer. For Hawaii, it's a big win. A nice win to start off on this little trip they're on out here on the mainland. So, runners are close. Hawaii closer.
Pinocchio with 23. Stevenson finished with 15. Those are good signs for the runners. But they need to get in that win column. And next, it's on the road at Santa Barbara and then UC Davis. So for Vance Palm, I'm Greg Kerr saying so long from Bakersfield, California, where the final score is Hawaii 78, CSU Bakersfield 67. Big West Basketball has been a presentation of the Big West.